guys, welcome back. Now, exactly 1 week from today is the premiere of Rogue One in theaters. And I think a lot of us are really excited about it because we get to see some of the old characters that we love from the original trilogy, right? The original Stormtroopers are back, and of course, Darth Vader is back, right? So I thought today I would take the opportunity to do a quick review of the Darth Vader helmet. And this helmet is made by EFX, and it's the limited edition fiberglass version. Now, the reason I mentioned that is because EFX actually made a few models of this helmet. They made a Legend edition, they made a limited edition, and both of those were made out of fiberglass. They actually made those from a cast of the original screen used prop. Now, more recently, EFX kind of reintroduced this replica out in the market. But instead of making it out of fiberglass, they decided to use plastic. And but the cool thing about that is that a lot of people that are jumping in to the replica collecting world, you could still get your hands on a replica of this helmet. I mean, the fiberglass version obviously has been long sold out, but you could still get your hands on one of the PCR ones. And I mean, I have some pictures of it. I had one. I ended up selling it because obviously I have this fiberglass one. But I can tell you that it is identical besides the materials used. I mean, EFX did a really, really good job at making these helmets. And the cool thing is there's some lineage behind it, right? Because it's actually casted from an original cast of the screen used prop. So again, today we're just gonna jump onto this one. This one's the limited edition, and let's jump in, check it out.
So this is definitely one of my favorite replicas that I own, just because of the history of this helmet and the lineage behind it. So the history of this helmet is interesting because in 1977, Rick Baker actually took a cast of the original screen used helmet that was used in A New Hope, and that mold just kind of got put away and it was kind of lost in the archives. Well, EFX went back into the Lucasfilm archives and found this mold. So what they did is they took this original mold and they made a helmet from it, which then they casted all of these helmets from. So this is literally the exact replica of the helmet used in A New Hope, which is so cool to me. Like I said, there's two different versions that came out at the same time. There's the Legend and the limited edition. With this one's the limited edition. Now the biggest difference is that the limited edition is pretty much idealized, right? So they took off most of the just little basic imperfections, which the Legend actually kept. The most noticeable one is the famous sea scar on the left cheek. If you're looking at the helmet on the left cheek, the original one had a small scratch in the shape of a C, and the Legend actually kept that. The cool thing about this one is that they left the weathering of the left tusk on there, which you can see right here, and that's identical to the Legend. Now the Legend also has a autographed plaque that's autographed by Brian Muir, who was the original sculptor of the Darth Vader helmet, and this one doesn't, and that's another big difference. They're both made from fiberglass, so the way they made the helmets is identical. Now, like I said, EFX recently made a precision cast replica of it, which is made out of plastic, which is really, really nice and a fraction of the cost. It's not lined like like this one or the Legend, but for the money, you can't beat it, just because of the history and the lineage behind the helmet. Now, there was 1,000 of these limited edition helmets made, as opposed to only 250 of the Legend helmets, which obviously makes them, more desirable and expensive. Now, the PCR one, though, as far as I'm aware, they didn't limit those. So those are going to be easier to find and, again, at a fraction of the cost. Now, here you can see that the nose is obviously hand painted, like the original one was. Here you could actually see a very small dent on mine, and this is caused by the evil widow's peak that you have to really be careful when putting on the helmet because the magnet is pretty strong and will kind of slam that widow's peak down onto the face mask. There's quick fixes that you could find online, uh, but gotta definitely be careful when doing that. Now here's the interior of the helmet, which is lined really nicely. Um, Not a lot of padding like some of the other helmets, but again, the lining is done really well. Uh, you could breathe through it, and just really nice padding. Both the Legend and the limited edition come with a base and a stand and a little plaque, as opposed to the PCRs don't. Now here's the helmet. You could see right away the fiberglass, just markings on the inside. The helmet itself is relatively heavy. Obviously, it's fiberglass, so it's going to be a little heavier. On the top of the helmet right here, there's a magnet that pulls the helmet together. Now here's, you have to be really careful, and I always just stick my hand in to make sure that the widow's peak doesn't hit the nose, because I made that mistake early on. There's my Tarkin tattoo. And I always stick my hand in there just to make sure that the two circles are matched up. Here's another quick view, the whole helmet. Like I said, it's a beautiful helmet, and I mean, this helmet, usually you're only going to find it in aftermarkets or secondary markets like eBay or the forums. But if you can get your hand on one of these or the Legends, I mean, they're definitely one of those holy grails that people should get. Now, EFX doesn't provide this acrylic case. I had to actually get that made, and I used the same company that I used for my EFX lightsaber, which I'll put the link up on the bio. So if somebody wants to order it, you can go ahead and order it. But thanks for watching, guys. Like I said, Rogue One's coming out, so I think I should be getting my Death Trooper helmet in a couple days. So I'm going to do an unboxing, so keep an eye out for that video. And like always, thanks again for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, share, comment on the bottom. I usually get back to you guys pretty quickly. And if you want to see some more pictures, follow us on Instagram at Star Wars Replicas. And yeah, keep an eye out for the next video. Thanks, guys.